stay conservative, run the ball here on third down.
Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.
Good evening, everybody. We are kicking with the crew. Welcome back. I know we took a long 2-week break from everybody, but I'm just going to share this out. Appreciate everybody coming in. How my boys doing tonight? Damon and Zach here with me. Hopefully Matt gets on with us later.
Doing well. Go
Hope
Colts.
everyone's good.
Hook 'em.
Had a good holiday.
Hook 'em.
Had a good holiday.
David Lovett, his Texas, the way they roll. But yeah, so we gotta take this back a little bit. We're gonna jump back a little bit to the matchup against the Buccaneers. Let's start there. How are we feeling about the game versus the Bucs, the Colts at home versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting only, I believe, our second home season of the win? How are we feeling about the game Colts versus Buccaneers?
I think the defense, that's the best game of the year. Just like a complete defensive-wise. Like, I don't believe the secondary gave up too many big, deep plays considering the receiving talent the Bucs had outside. And on top of that, they were able to get pressure on Mayfield to make his day, a legitimate issue. So, to me, I feel like that going forward is what, if the Colts are for real, like your tag says, and they're capable of 11 wins, like I believe they are, that's the standard they need to play at every week from here on out.
Absolutely. How are we feeling, Damon? What you think about the Colts versus the Bucs?
Yeah, defensively, like we saw, it was a very Colts game. I think all Colts fans know what I mean by that. It was a very Colts game, but I think offense, we balanced some things out and took a step forward. Granted, we're not going to have JT this week, but I love to see that balanced rushing attack and Shane actually utilize him as a two-back system. If I've had any complaints lately, is that he has not utilized him as a two-back system, and we actually saw it to our benefit last week, and we're able to get off the field with points on the board. So overall, I mean, very Colts game, but kind of pleased with what I saw moving forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man, I think it was one of those games where I was kind of on edge. I tell you guys, and if I'm being honest, I thought it was one of those matchups that wasn't going to be one that was very good for us, just because of the fact that the Bucs had the receivers to make us feel uncomfortable. I thought Mike Evans and Chris Godwin can go out and have a day against us, but honestly, outside of Mike Evans, doing what he did, I think we had the busted coverage on one touchdown for him, and then you had to work for him on another. So honestly, if you told me he was going to have that kind of day and we still get the win, I'd be pretty damn happy, because that's what I kind of expected to come. There was something that I did want to put out because of the fact that we did have our show on that Saturday before the game. I did want to say that we did get lucky a little bit. Teams going against the 49ers on the previous week are like 1 in 15 or something over the last 2-3 years. So we got to play the Bucs off going against the 49ers. So I thought that was something on our side.
We got Dave in here too, saying the quarters are starting to mature and look better. Got a big break on a 3rd and long drop, but overall they're maturing. Defensive line pressure always helps. Absolutely. I mean, your line getting home is going to make your corners look better naturally, which we've been saying all season, which we need with a team that's so heavily invested at edge and line, D-line in general. So, agreed.
Yeah, that's big time. That's big time. We had a show. I don't know if that was just me and you, Damon, or if that was a show where we were all on here. We were talking about how the first 4 weeks of the season, the Colts defensive line and front seven were literally one of the best in the league. And then the following, I think it was weeks 5 through 8 or 9, we were non-existent on that D-line as far as getting pressure, sacks, and forcing turnovers from them. We didn't really get to see it. So it's great to see that D-line pressure come back and getting guys to play to the level that we thought they could play in the start of the season. Samson Ebukam has been a goal for us. Absolute goal fine. So shout out to Ballard for making that choice over Yannick Ndakwe. We're bringing him in. So I thought that was great for us. And then obviously those guys closed out the game for us. So it was great to see that come back and be something that worked out for us. How'd you guys feel about the offense versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Like I said, love the running the football, love the bounce attack, but we are throwing the football entirely too much with Gardner Minshew.
I disagree. And here's why I say that. Like, what this offense was with AR and what it is with Minshew, while they're similar, they're very different. While with AR, you're right. They were running the ball heavy with AR, with Zach, and then it was real, it was the quick passing game, a lot less RPO.
What's up, Ash?
With Minshew, I really like the fact that teams are forcing Minshew to beat him because outside of the one pick that he has, he's usually right. And I know it's heavy RPO, but I truly feel like the way Shane calls plays and his aggressiveness and the tempo that he uses and how hyper aggressive he uses, bro, that's got to make a defense uncomfortable. And I feel like if you do it any other way and you run the ball, you're essentially taking Minshew out of what makes Minshew great. And that is Minshew wants to take the risk. He wants to push the ball downfield, but at the same time, he knows he's going to be right. And if he can make you wrong, then Indianapolis is fine. And I trust Minshew, believe it or not, 9 out of 10 times to make the right read. As long as he's not back there patting the ball and, sprinting and doing stupid shit out the pocket, I truly believe the Colts are fine because this heavy, RPO system that they're running with Minshew has worked. I mean, you could say the Colts need to run the ball more, but I truly feel like that's what teams are doing. They're loading the box and they're blitzing Minshew. And Minshew has, in my opinion, has proven that he can beat the blitz one way or another, whether it's a quick screen or I'm going to give it, to Zach and he's going to make a play. But I don't know. I just look at it like I wouldn't have it any other way. Like the offense to me, especially coming out of the Bucs game, was literally perfect. They did what they needed to do to win. And I don't care if it was by 3 points or by 7 points. Like the offense looked good. It was balanced. They ran the ball when they wanted to. They threw the ball when they needed to. And overall, I can't ask for much more. I mean, you could always ask for the sexy deep pass or, that Pittman hitting the deuce on the way out like this. But at the same time, I think offensively, what we witnessed, that's Colts football, at least this year, the rest of the year. That's ball is going to win you games. Like you said, it's very Colts football.
You disagree about the Minshew aspect of things with his sheer attempts.
I have no problem. In today's league, you have to throw it so much. It's literally that's what defenses are forcing you to do. They're going to take away the deep ball and they're going to force you to dink and dunk down the field. So you either have to, like the Colts. In my opinion, when JT's not out there, like they don't have a super dominant threat in the run game. Like Zach, he's patient, 3, 4, 5 yards. But like they're forcing Minshew to beat them. And in my opinion, in every game he's played in this year, he's done that. Ravens, he did just enough to beat them. Bucks did just enough to beat them. Carolina, he did just enough to beat them. Like he's answered the bell. It's not been pretty. But I mean, that's why he's the best backup in the league because he doesn't, essentially, in my opinion, he doesn't make the mistake that is going to cost you the game. Versus Cleveland, he didn't lose us that game. I'm not putting that loss on him. That loss goes essentially, we can all say that loss is on the refs and that loss is on, Darryl Baker for that PI.
I chalked that one up to Darryl Baker, the refs, and Myles Garrett. That's
fine. Yeah. I just have a hard time, placing blame on a quarterback when they're like, well, he does too much, bro. Look at the cast and crew he has around him. Outside of Pittman Jr. and JT, everybody else this year has kind of been all like, who? So like, to me, he's done well with what he has. So I can't sit here and say he throws the ball way too much, especially because that's what Steichen wants to do. Steichen wants to throw the ball and then run to close it out.
Yeah, we got some comments coming in here on the same thing. Nathan is saying, I think we need to run the ball dang more instead of throwing 40 times with Minshew. And I think that's where Damon's coming from as well. And then Dave Stewart also coming in here saying that he's pretty much on your side, Zach, saying the pass to run was 41 to 27. So it wasn't terribly.
Minshew played in the air raid offense at Washington State with the guy who the coach with Mike Leake, who recently died. Trust me, he's built for it. The difference is it's a different system. Minshew does exactly as you need to. And today's league's a passing league. So like Dave says, 41 to 27 rushes, it's a passing league. I fully expect it to be 2-to-1 pass.
I don't really think that's where it comes from. I also see where Damon is coming from with this entire thing because of the fact that I don't think that Minshew is the guy that you want to go out and try and beat teams each and every week. Just because if you look at the game is like the Jacksonville game where we had the 3 turnovers that pretty much end up putting that away. I'm going to let you go here real quick, Damon, but I just want to say something that I seen because I was also thinking the same thing. We need to run the ball a little bit more, but I think we're all, at least some of us that believe that we should run more, are missing what Steichen said when he said it. He said we are going to throw to score and run to win. And if you look at each game, he's literally meant that when he said it. So the pass ratio may be a little bit higher, but when it calls to go for runs and whatnot, just like on the 4th and 1, what did we do? We threw to score, got us in position, and then ran the ball, scored a touchdown to win. So I do get where you're coming from, Damon, but after seeing somebody said that on Twitter, and so it just really poked in my mind that that's really what he meant. So we could see a lot of passes from Minshew, and I think he's running when it's necessary, and then passing is just sometimes we don't really see that flow of the game, and it's easy to look back at it hindsight and say it should have been
the Colts,
but I think that's where it's coming from. Hold on, Zach.
The Colts only okay.
For me, it's throwing the ball first through third down. Pass.
I get you.
Pass.
I get you. I get that. Yeah.
You know, our defense, it's while it's improved, it's kind of like, okay, now we're putting our defense back out on the field, and we've seen what happens when our pass rush gets diminished. Then our corners get exposed, and we get thrown all over the field. It happens a lot. You know what I mean? So I guess that's more my complaint is the passing first, second, third down punt. Pass second, third down punt. It's just dumb.
I mean, if it makes anybody feel any better, the Colts only have 11 passing TDs all year.
Which is crazy.
That's crazy to me. They've only have 11 passing TDs. Or maybe that's with Minshew under center. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember that stat.
Minshew has 2 of those TDs, or 9 of those TDs. AR has 2.
Yeah. Colts have only thrown 11 passing TDs. I think Pittman and Downs lead the team with like 2 each. I mean, to me, that's wild. That they've pretty much been like the Colts pretty much have a tail within the red zone, within the 15-yard line. Colts are going to run the ball more times than not. I just think it's kind of weird and kind of different how I don't have a problem if the Colts throw it 3 straight times because I get pissed when they're like, let's run it, and then it's a 3 and out, you know? So, like, I get what you're saying. You want mixed up on the drive. You want some balance, a run, a pass, or whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah, I get kind of both sides of it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a great thing that I like to see that Minshew only has 9 touchdowns. But it's at the same time, it's look at what people have said about this receiving core. And so it's not like we have the eye-popping guys that are going to get you all of those. But at the same time, we do have to look at who our quarterback is. I saw some people comparing somebody put out a top 5 receivers list. It went pretty big around. Even Reggie Wayne commented on it and retweeted it and whatnot. And it didn't have Josh Downs on the list, and they had Tank Dell up there, and somebody else said that Josh Downs was over Tank Dell in their opinion. Actually, Destin, Colts writer. And so it was like one of those situations where you look at the quarterback. I mean, it makes a huge difference for your team. And
Right.
so, and like we didn't get to see AR for any 4 quarters, but dude was averaging 2 touchdowns a game on like a quarter and a half.
Rush.
So,
Yeah.
well, he had the 2 passing TDs when they did open those up as well. So it was like he's giving you all those touchdowns, and if you could see him play more of a full game, then you could really know what we're gonna get. And so it's one of those situations where it's like you can compare the guys, but it's like you look at the way they're playing differently. CJ Stroud isn't going to give you rushing touchdowns a lot. I mean, it's just not what he's going to do. So it's like, of course, you can't account for those ones, but at the same time, if you don't have your starting QB, that looks a little bit different. So I don't know. It's one of those situations where, like I said, Shane said we're gonna throw the score, we're gonna run the win. So I think it's one of those situations where we just got to get used to how he's calling the game, and that's very different for our end to look at it hindsight versus to see what we're doing on the field. There is some situations where I do agree with Damon, though. It's like when we go pass, punt, our defense is getting worn out when we do that, and we've been one of the higher scoring teams in the league, but it's still to a point where you don't want to wear your defense out every single time. Like we do not, and like I said to you guys before we hopped on here, we're not going through our toughest stretch of ball. I mean, we're playing a little bit lesser competition. So if we were playing the teams that Damon is talking about, the ones that can go out and destroy your secondary,
we can't do that in playoffs.
That's when you don't want to necessarily keep giving the ball back.
Yeah, we can't do that in playoffs. Like, if we do that shit in the playoffs, we'll lose.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris is saying here, no JT, it's tough. Hopefully Zach Moss can be. I personally don't understand why this is such a big thing to people. We thought we knew JT was going to be out for the first 4 games, and then he was gone. And then Zach Moss did what he did. He came back, and we didn't even know if we were going to have JT. So I see this, and when people talk about it, I'm like, oh no, JT's gone, and like, how will he fare? How will the Colts rushing attack go? And I don't blink an eye. I think we're all right. I mean, bearing injury. Nathan is saying, I get what you're saying. If you bring the air raid, that gives your defense no time to rest. I mean, if you're smart with the ball, I mean, you just got to convert.
I mean, the air raid's the West Coast offense just from the gun. So, like, you just got to chew clock by don't have any incompletions and short passes, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, but see, when you say the balance to bleed the clock, 60-40, you can't do this in the middle of the first and second quarter. Like, I mean,
no.
You gotta keep playing the game. That's
you got to be aggressive.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I really like about Shane is he's playing the game through the flow of the game. He's not going off all of the analytics of the game, the statistics. What does this say? What does that say? He's going off his feel. And does it always work? No, but I like that he's using his gut and not just saying, "Oh yeah, this thing told me to go for this," or whatever. You know, so
right. It's all gut feel with him. It's all feel and what he. I don't know. I just like Shane as a play caller, from the fake punts to Zaire at fullback to, Minshew, whatever it is, a punter, a personal protector. I think all of it has been fun this year and way better than anything Frank did.
Frank did that too.
Barely.
Put Grover. You could put Grover in.
Yeah,
I think one time.
I'm just trying to start it.
I'm pretty sure somebody else drew that up for him though.
Yeah, Parks Frazier.
Had to be
saying we need an open checkbook for Pittman. Don't risk him losing him in free agency. I think either way we can use the franchise tag. I doubt Pittman's going anywhere. David's saying here, interesting. It's interesting. We were saying we're playing weaker teams for the final stretch. The teams we are playing are saying the same about us. I mean, both can be true, but at the same time, like they put up the graphic the other day saying the Colts are in the playoffs right now, and then they go. The teams that are out, the Houston Texans, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Denver Broncos. If you asked anybody, and I don't mean just fans or whatever, but if they put it up on any sports TV show, if they put up all 5 of those teams and said who are going to make it, absolutely none of them are saying the Colts is what I mean by it. So it's like we can say that we're playing weaker teams, but nobody thinks that we're a proven team. So even if somehow by hook or by crook that we made it to the playoffs, nobody is trusting us to do anything anyway. Most people just see the score and say, oh, wow, the Colts won. So it's like when people look at the Houston Texans, they think they're surefire in the playoffs or the Broncos. So that's what I mean by playing the weaker opponents. I mean, obviously this helps us get into the playoffs, but sometimes you just need to see us play competition, because if we were another team, what would we say? We'd look at the team that they're playing and say, that's the reason why they're winning. So we can't just do it when it's another team and not do it when it's ours.
Keeps the D on the field for
Christensen.
extra play. Shane has been good at his adjusting the game, playing mid-game. Yeah, this Colts coaching staff is high quality in-game adjustments. Like, it's been all the difference in the world. From, Shane and what he does with the offense to I'm actually impressed with Gus Bradley and his adjustments. I think I was talking with DeMarco about this a couple of days ago about how, like, hey, I don't know what Gus Bradley did on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know if they went, and got rid of that country cover 3 or whatever. But, during that Bucs game, I saw the Colts run a lot of cover 6, a lot of cover 4, and they man adjusted. And it's been night and day. I mean, that's what I said. The standards going forward is that, like, I don't expect the Colts defense to come out and have 2 pick sixes versus Carolina, because that's a freak thing, but just don't be terrible on defense. And I really think the Colts have a chance to get in the playoffs and make some noise.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was you and Matt. But yeah, I think Gus, I think it's been great having Shane here to see Gus adjust, because before we would never see any changes to what he was going to do, any routine, anything like that. I thought it'd all be the same, and it pretty much just be consistently the same thing over and over and over again. So whatever's gotten into him, thought that's been a great thing to see, some changes from him. Yeah, that's where I'm also at with that. Nathan saying, why would he sign a franchise tag when he could get a long-term deal somewhere else? The reason you franchise tag him is so he don't go have a conversation with somebody else. It just gives you more time to get a deal done. So that's why you franchise tag him. You don't franchise tag him because he'll sign it. You franchise tag him to get more time.
The Colts are gonna extend him, man. I promise you that. He's exceeded all expectations at this point.
Even if you guys don't think he's a 1, like I didn't think he was a 1, I truly think Michael Pittman now is a 1. He might not be a high. He might not be a high end 1, but bro, he's Heinz Ward. He's dirty. He blocks. He runs the routes. He brings the attitude. He'll punch you in the mouth. He will fight you on the field.
He's a running back. Yes, the field,
he
dog.
is. Just like his dad. Of a dog.
Just like his dad.
To be honest, I think he'd have more yards and touchdowns if he didn't act like that, because he almost looks for contact, man. If he was,
he does. He's a true dog. He's, in my opinion, in every sense of the word, he embodies what the Colts want to be on offense. Physical.
He said, "Forget this touchdown. I'm gonna rip your face off."
Right. I mean,
right through your face.
He's a 1. He's gritty. That's perfect. I don't know who posted that. He's gritty. Like, that's what Pittman Jr. is. And to me, Colts need more of it. He is the attitude. What would you give Minshew? What grade would you give Minshew?
Nathan, you would have to go back to 2 weeks ago. We did our whole grade for the Colts as a whole. As far as what we did at the halfway point. Yeah, I think we gave Minshew a B. I'm not exactly sure on it. But yeah, somewhere around there. But all right, man. Let's jump to this week. Y'all know what it is. We know what it is. It's Titans week, man. It's Titans week.
I want this win.
And if there are any Titans fans out there, anybody watching, man, I'm getting tired of people trying to point out and say that anybody wants to be like the Titans or try and be better than the Titans. Only reason we call it Titans week is just because everybody else has sucked when they were dominating the division for their little 2-year run that they had. So let's just make that clear. Like, you're not anything special, okay? I'm just putting that out there, man. You're not anything special. It's just Titans week because it's time to get over the hump. Y'all were beating us for a while. And just like next year, I'm going to be saying the same thing about Jacksonville because I'm getting tired of y'all sweeping us. So, or not tired of y'all sweeping us, but just tired of y'all, anybody even bringing up the fact that y'all can beat us. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. What are we looking forward to Titans Colts coming up tomorrow.
Pass rush. Pass rush is going to win us this game, I think, in every aspect. Get Levis uncomfortable, get in his head, get off the field, let our offense do their thing. I mean, we've been talking about offense for the last 30 minutes, you know what I mean, or 25 minutes here at this point. So I think we let our offense do what it does best. Let the pass rushers get home. Corners play good football. I think we win this game.
I fully expect to be physical because I felt like the Titans felt disrespected when it was in Indianapolis because how Indianapolis brought the physicality to Tennessee. Indianapolis came out and punched Tennessee in the mouth. I mean, from the run game, from Zach Levine, from the defensive line getting all over Tannehill. Like, Indianapolis played Tennessee Titans football, as they would say. They played Titans football. And I really think, like, Tennessee remembers that because that's essentially what they talked about. You know, like we heard their fans, wait till December 3rd. December 3rd. Blah, blah. Well, it's here. And to me, I think offensively, the Colts aren't going to do a whole – well, they will do stuff differently because Steichen ain't ever ran, you know, the same game plan twice. He's a Frank. But, like, I fully expect the Colts to come out and say, hey, you couldn't stop us running the ball last time. We're going to do it again and make you force and take it away from us. So I fully expect this is going to be a bloodbath. It's won and lost in the trenches. It's just Titans Colts football. It's physical. It's going to be a tight game. We always play each other tight. It wouldn't shock me to see Tennessee win. It wouldn't shock me to see Indianapolis win. Like, it's going to be a tight, physical game, just like it always has been.
Yeah, Chris is saying here we want to beat Will Levis, and I don't know if anybody's seen or is watching, but Florida State don't need to be in the college football playoff. I'm watching it. I got this game on. It is a total of 11 yards between these two teams in the first quarter.
The quarterbacks have thrown for a total of 15 yards combined.
Florida State got -7 rushing yards.
Yuck. Stinky.
Yeah, what's up, Tristan? Christine was saying, I missed it. Dave was saying make them one-dimensional. So, yeah, I think this is pretty much the same plan as we did with Ryan Tannehill, man. Don't let Derrick Henry run over you because that's our weakness is right now is our running game until we get Grover Stewart back next week. We want to force them to throw the ball and just make Will Levis go out and try and throw the ball and beat us just like we forced Baker Mayfield to do and get some mistakes, some drops in there and force those guys to turn it over. I think just like I had sent the give back to Matt when he was talking about the video where Will Levis was limping at practice, and I think we absolutely should feast as a defensive line. This offensive line is terrible. Their quarterback's hurt. They're gonna have to try and run the ball and whatnot. And so I think we absolutely need to take advantage of everything that we got on our defense. What you got, Damon?
I mean, I think are we talking about Harrison or the one-dimensional aspect?
The defense as a whole or anything that you think that we need to do tomorrow.
No, and like I said, kind of my pregame notes, like we just have got to like bring our pass rush. Our pass rush has to get home. Is it me or we have a lot of offsides penalties last week? Like we had like 3 or 4, I think.
We get one too many every week.
Yeah, penalties have been an issue specifically on defense. I've seen a couple false starts, but I think pass rush gets home, and I just want to see that cornerback unit kind of grow and take another step forward here. I thought the safeties played a little bit better last week. I still have that one blown coverage, but I don't have much other than just pass rush getting home, in my opinion. I think the linebackers are going to do what they do best, So.
Yeah, Chris is asking him, what do we think about linebacker Harrison that we just picked up from the practice squad? And went from safety.
He played 7 snaps.
Yeah, that was my first response to Matt as well because people been talking about him quite a lot. And I mean, when you get an interception out of 7 snaps, I mean that's pretty damn good. But at the same time, it's like we haven't really seen much of you. So, I mean, it's like. We love the play. He came in. He took over for Shaq Leonard, who was left out and whatnot, and got cut by Indy. But outside of him getting the interception, it's nice job, and we'll see if you get some more playing time. It's tough to know. So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes, and I think he's all right.
I
Tristan is
agree,
saying we
Tristan.
have to stop D Hop. I don't think so. I disagree.
Bro, he feasted on us last time. And granted, he didn't do
the game?
Granted, we won, but I still don't like it. Like, dude, old as hell. Like,
it don't matter.
Make him a non-factor.
It don't matter. Derrick Henry had, I believe it was less than 40 yards. That's who we need to stop.
Yeah,
Derrick
but that's
Henry
with growth.
And it don't matter. Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears, I'm telling you, if Derrick Henry is running over this team, we're not winning. We're not winning. We want them to have to throw the ball. So what's going to happen? You should get pass yardage. Now, if our DBs are playing better and they have progressed from where they were, maybe we lock up D-Hop this time around and don't let him go for 110 or 20 or 30, whatever he went for. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what they do through the air because you can throw for 300 yards and have 3 interceptions. Do I care how many yards you had? No. I think yards is a terribly overrated stat. You can have all the yards in the world you want, but if you got multiple turnovers, who cares?
Justin Herbert?
Exactly. So when you
he needs to get out of LA, man. They need to trade him.
Herbert
do the easiest thing. Get rid of that Brandon Staley. Get rid of Staley.
Dude's wasted away as a Charger, man.
Herbert throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, and they lose 21-45.
I said, it hurts, dog.
That's what I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, I could care less about yards unless it's rushing yards. Rushing yards are what kill you. They kill your defense. Your running clock. You're running over somebody else's team. Those big defensive linemen get tired. And Derrick Henry is one of the guys that you don't want your secondary have to keep tackling just because that wears you out. So I'm not in the slightest worried about what DeAndre Hopkins can do. Can he go off and go crazy? Do I want that? No. But at the same time, I'd rather hold Derrick Henry to 25 yards rushing, no touchdowns, and let DeAndre Hopkins have 125 yards in the touchdown. Colts win.
I agree. I just don't like it, but I agree.
Yeah. I get you. I get where you're coming from, but I think where he's saying we have to stop D-Hop, he can do what he does, man. As long as we stop.
You got Shaq Leonard is going to sign.
The rumor is Philadelphia and Dallas right now, so have no idea.
Neither.
What's up, Joey? Hopes everything's going good for you, man. Shout out to Joey and ZTV. Appreciate you.
Joey makes it all possible. Thank you, boss.
Yes, sir. All right. And so where we at? What do we think we need to do on offense? Obviously, we don't have Jonathan Taylor. I think Josh Downs is getting a little bit better. I didn't miss most of the injury report this week. Was pretty busy, so I hope his knee is progressing a little bit better. Michael Pittman's obviously going to do what he's going to do. Seems like Alec Pearson's even get a little bit more involved. Obviously, all of us would probably like to see Gardner Minshew take advantage of some of these mismatches we get with our tight ends a little bit. Brian Kelly should be back from his concussion. He practiced all week, so like I said, it would be oh my God if he possibly didn't play at game time. So it's good to have him back, even though Wesley French has been playing pretty well there. So I'm pretty sure we got our whole offensive line intact, but no JT. So what are we thinking about the offense? What do you guys think we need to do there?
2 keys for me. Don't shy away from running the ball with Zach Moss. Just because you don't have JT does not mean you cannot run the ball 20 to 22 times a game with Zach Moss, or even get Trey Sermon involved with that RPO game. 2, we've got to do a better job of scheming up the tight ends. We do. And it's like every time our tight ends get involved, it's a 15 to 20-yard gain or a first down completion. It's been pretty nice, but the issue is it's so inconsistent between all of them. Which is good and bad. One game it's Mallory going for a 30-yard completion right down the seam. The next game is Alec Ogletree's back, or is he out?
He is back. He is back.
Big dub. That's in my opinion, that is the best tight end in that room.
I honestly, I don't dislike any of our tight ends.
I don't,
man.
It's because Woods isn't playing. He's the only one I'm mad at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that's where we do miss, because if we had Woods, we have the one and all of our tight ends.
Yeah.
So
But it's like we're talking about. It's like every game. It's legit been a different tight end. Last week it was Mallory, and we had I think Mallory Cox in that big fourth down, and then this week is who's going to be. Ogletree goes for a 30, 40-yard completion and either blows an ankle or gets a concussion. Never fails.
Every time. I hate to see it, man. Tristan is saying here, what's up with B? And I honestly think Scheichen's a real players coach, to where when it comes to injuries, he really likes to take his time on it. He likes to let the doctors see everything through. So I think Steichen just doesn't put anybody out on the field unless they can go with a snap count or something. So
Juju ain't playing to the playoffs, dog. Like,
yeah.
That's how I see it.
I don't like it at all. Don't play
I just don't think Steichen is just going to push to play anybody. I think that's what's going on there.
As for offensively,
yeah,
I want to see the creativity, man. Keep being creative. So, like, I fully expect, like, I just want to see the Colts continue to do different stuff, whether that's one formation, whether, they draw up something nuts or whatever it is. They find a defense, they find a defensive flaw, and they run it until Tennessee stops it. I just need to see Steichen continue to stack, to elevate, to do what he does. As for the creative aspect of it, we got all these tight ends. I'm waiting to put one at quarterback and then just go wild. Like if Jelani Woods was out there, I really would love to see like Jelani Woods and AR in the backfield with Jonathan Taylor and just do something nuts.
Exactly. Like I want to see the 2007 created offensive play from Madden, bro.
Like I need to see it. I just want to see more creativity. I think that's what helps Indianapolis out so much. Is Steichen is a quality play caller, and then Steichen just in his bag getting saucy with it. And Tennessee doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, have the best personnel to match up with us, because outside of one corner, the rest of them are shaky. I don't even know who the hell they have at safety anymore after they traded Kevin Byard.
No, Monty Hooker and
so
I forgot
so who?
They're solid at safety. They're solid at safety.
Really? So the way I see it is just get more guys involved and make Indianapolis really, really difficult to stop. That's what I've always believed in that philosophy. The more guys that you have, the teams can't cover or teams can't stop. It don't matter who has the rock as long as you win. So just continue to do what Shane's doing. But I do enjoy how he's got Zaire going fast to the flat. I'm fourth and one.
I'm in the flat, coach. I'm in the flat. Oh, that's
like I enjoy that.
That was funny. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll see too much creativity this week, just because of who we're playing. I think the more physical team will be the team that comes out in this game. I think physicality will say it all in this one, and I think Steichen knows that. I do think that we will try and take advantage of some of the things that we can do in the passing game. So as Zach did point out, their cornerbacks aren't very good. I mean, I think they got Murphy Bunting, who's pretty solid and whatnot, but Kristen Fulton is allowing like 150 QBR.
Yeah,
like Kevin Wallace, whatever the heck his name is.
He's been one of the worst corners in football this year.
Yeah,
let Zach Wilson throw for 600 yards.
And man-to-man coverage. So I just think I believe that's a matchup that we'll take advantage of. And so to Zach's point about the creativity, I will tell you the one thing that I am getting tired of seeing in football is the cute play calling on key downs, man. I'm getting so sick of it, bro. I can tell you, I see so much of it in college football and some other stuff where teams they'll run a wide receiver screen with no blockers on a 3rd and 4, or teams do this pitch double reverse on a 3rd and 10 or something and lose like 8
DeMarco
yards.
wants to see a fullback on a 3-yard dive and get a first down.
Yes, that's what I want to see, man. Just keep it simple, bro. Like, I am not with all this cute, fancy play calling on down and Disney. If you want to try something on like a 1st and 5 after you get a penalty, then
I just want to see like Minshew rip it on his own read and go 65 yards on the sideline,
and
then hit him with the okey doke like AR did. I wouldn't lose my I would lose my mind if he hit him with the okie doke like
would pull
AR
a
did in
hammy.
the end
He
zone.
would pull a hammy at full speed, bro. Come on now. 65 yards, 40 yards in, that guy's holding something.
Yeah,
I don't care.
He gonna be
I need
holding
to-
that hammy real quick.
What's that?
I need
DeMarco
to
saying?
see it, man.
DeMarco, he says, "When's the last time you ran full speed?"
I'm
Now think about
telling
that for 60 yards.
I'm telling you, boy, you gonna feel it real quick. That hammy gonna remind you how old you is.
Yeah.
Didn't see it. That's all. I just want to see,
That's why
Minshew.
when Matt Ryan had his 30-yard run versus the Raiders last year, he was jogging the whole time. That's why he wasn't sprinting. He knew what was up.
Bro, I think that's some bad juju we're not talking about. Matt Ryan calling this game for CBS, man. Like, I feel like this man is cursed. So, like, it wouldn't shock me if we had one of our worst games ever
Fumbles.
of the season because Matt Ryan's calling the game.
I give him a little break. I don't think it'd be because he and whatnot, but I do think just because of the fact that that's why my name is what it is. Just because of the fact that we all have that in the back of our minds, like, is it real what we're seeing each and every week? Are we gonna turn back into that team that's giving up 3rd and long each and every week, or are we doing something dumb that's gonna give the game away? Are we gonna have turnovers? Are we gonna have that injury when something's gonna happen that gives it away for us? But I think all in all, I think we need to run the ball again like we did before. Take advantage of key downs, pass the ball when need be, and just no turnovers, man. Be more physical in this team. And like Davis sitting here saying, tight ends, that's what we talked about quite a bit. We just want to get these guys involved and whatnot, and just make sure that we're taking full advantage of pretty much, I want to say an inferior team. They're just not that good right now. And we need to take advantage of everything that we see against them and in this game.
I do have one want that I would love to see. I don't think Indianapolis will because they just don't. But I would love to see Indianapolis blitz more and be more aggressive and heat up like Will Levis because, hell yeah, Matt Rogers. I would just love to see, like Indianapolis heat up Levis. So even if it means blitz more, because I do feel like the Colts, at least with simulated pressures, are, really, really, really good defensively. But at the same time, I don't know. What they did last week was solid. That's the standard, in my opinion, going forward. But I would love to see them add another aspect to the defense. Hey, we're going to heat you up. We're going to blitz you. We're going to force Levis to beat you. So,
yeah, no, I do agree that if there was any week to blitz, kind of like when we played against Matthew Stafford, and I said this is the guy you really don't want to blitz against.
Pull that last comment up from that up right there. Like that.
This is the one that I do say that where we should blitz. You should blitz at this rookie with this terrible offensive line. You should definitely give him the 5-6 man fronts and just try and confuse the hell out of him. And just make sure that we play with a good zone on the back end just because we know he has the big arm, so we got to keep everything short and sweet. But get after him. He's already shown that he was limping. We need to get after him, put him on the ground, and make this a short day for our vets there. So I definitely think that would be the week. And we didn't even blitz a whole lot last week.
No, we don't.
Our pass rush got home, so
I only counted like 2 blitzes actually that like simulated pressures that they brought. And if they can get home with 4, there's no need. But I do think Indianapolis, at least defensively, when you get Kenny Moore involved in the pass rush, I think that only elevates, that defense because how good he is at it. Same thing with Blackman. I feel like if you blitz Blackman more,
I just get worried about Thomas on that back end with the blown coverage
I'm
the
not.
last couple weeks.
He's a second-year pro. Like, guys are gonna make mistakes. I feel like
you're right. Yeah, no, I think.
Yeah, but it's
not to be misunderstood there. I'm not saying like necessarily in Thomas's fault, but leaving him back there on his own, bringing Blackman in on a 0 blitz.
Yeah, it's not even just Thomas being a second-year guy, but it's also playing with other young players. That's why we've had a lot of those miscommunications. So, a lot of that has to do with it as well. So we want to make sure everybody stays engaged and they're playing to their keys and whatnot. But I think I don't necessarily think it's blitzed a ton. but just make sure we're blitzing in key situations to knock them out. So if they're in field goal range, you want to go with a key blitz to knock them out of field goal range. If they're in the 10-yard line or something like that, you might come with a blitz just to make them force a field goal. So just things like that to bring blitzes in key moments to keep them out of situations. But this is one of those situations he's also showing that he's hurt. We got to blitz a lot.
I agree completely. And it would be cool to see Zaire get a little loose and actually kind of bump into Vrabel a little bit on the sideline.
Hey, did you watch the Trenches show or listen to the Trenches show this week?
Which one? The one that's like Teslas and Hellcats? That one?
Nah. I think it was the most recent one. I forgot the name of it. But,
yeah, the one that came out yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hella funny how they said when somebody get up, he stand over him, and then he got a bump in his Zaire as he walk away.
Yo, them dudes are hilarious, man. Them dudes are freaking comedy.
You gotta watch yourself on the side.
You could tell their chemistry on the field too.
I just don't like EJ. I find EJ's voice incredibly annoying.
I thought you were talking on the field.
No, on the field is fine, but in the podcast, I find his voice incredibly annoying. He's like all high pitched, and I'm like, nah, get Avery Johnson out of here. Like, I ain't trying to listen to that, But
you've never been to Dallas before, man. We talk a lot of people talk like that up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're all Southern. Like I'm Northern, but I just don't like EJ. Like the way he talks on the field, incredible. His voice is hella annoying. Like, bah.
I don't know. I think voices is just different, man. Different. But nah, man. I think we got a lot of advantage to take care of against this team. I think it's something that we definitely need to take advantage of offensively and defensively. But what do you guys think defensively against this Titans team? What do we need to do there?
Stop the run. Force Tennessee to punt. You stop the run, and then on third down, either Will Levis is going to play action or boot, because that's literally all they do with him is attack the edge. Then I think Indianapolis hasn't made. So stop the run, force Will Levis.
The Tennessee punter, Stonehouse has more punts than DeAndre Hopkins has catches. Force him to punt.
Stonehouse is like leading the league though on like punt per yards, man. Like the dude's like damn near McAfee level.
When you punt that many times, you get reps like that. You can do things like that. No, for my points, I mean, I've said multiple times about pass rush getting home, but just right on point with Zach as well. Don't let Derrick Henry run us all over. Don't do the Colts thing where you stop Derrick Henry and then let Tyjae Spears go for 130 yards on an 80-yard round burst. And, that's the Colts way of doing things. So hold them, let them punt, and let our offense get to work.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think this defense needs to keep doing what it's doing. Also found a stat here that the Colts have 16 straight games with a takeaway, the longest active streak in the NFL. So it's another stat that I found there. Hey, there he is. Found that stat there that the Colts have the longest active streak with 16 straight games with a takeaway. So I think we definitely need to keep that streak up this Sunday, force some turnovers, and just put this team at a deficit. I think it goes back to what me and Matt had pressed a lot in week 4 or 5 whenever we played them, was to pretty much get them down, force them to pass the ball, and then go from there with just pinning our ears back, let the rush get after them, and create some turnovers, man. What up, Matt?
Hi.
What up?
What's
Hi.
Hi.
So yeah. Found that stat. Thought that was really dope, man. That the Colts has been turning over the ball that much. I mean, it sucks because of last year's part of that, but yeah, I thought that was one of the key things there. But you guys feel any way about Tennessee being 4-0 at home? You think
kind of fluky in my opinion, because I don't know who who they played outside of Cincinnati. Like, who have they played that's been legit when they played Cincinnati? But Joe Burrow had a bum leg. So beyond that, I don't know who they played at home and that was actually any good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't feel any way about it. I could care less. I think records at home or away mean absolutely nothing to me. Tennessee is not known for having a home field advantage. That is the reason they are 4-1 at home. It's got to be scheduled, in my opinion.
Yep. Well
So
said.
they played the Panthers at home, played the Falcons at home,
Trash.
the Bengals at home, and the Chargers at home.
So all trash.
So all those teams are like either at 500 or below 500. So they really haven't played a team that's, been at least a game or two above 500. So
And no one, and they didn't face Joe Burrow not hurt.
right, they didn't get a healthy Joey B. So you kind of have to throw that, in my opinion, in the trash. So
agreed, 100%. But
I mean,
now you got to look at us. We're 4-1 on the road. How much do you take that into consideration?
1-4.
No, we're 4-1.
Oh no, 4-1. My bad. I was thinking the other way. Yeah.
We suck at home.
We beat Baltimore on the road.
No, I was.
To me, I feel like that Baltimore win speaks volumes. Carolina's, you got to throw that out because how bad they were.
New England and Germany.
I think we beat New England and Germany. Yeah, that win was weird though. That one just didn't sit right with me either way.
But I think it just goes to show to tell that Frank has or not Frank.
Whoa.
Don't you disrespect Shane like that? Did he get off here? Bro, what happened?
No. I think it just goes to show that Coach Steichen just has this team prepared and ready to go on the road to face whatever team they're facing. They're mentally prepared. They're mentally ready. They're staying ready to get out on the field and play ball, and they're more focused when they're leaving the building, knowing that they have to defend certain games, especially since I want to say most of our games have been on the road, have been AFC, which keeps us above that AFC record, which keeps us the tiebreaker over teams like Houston and Buffalo and Denver. So I think it just goes to show that we're more prepared and ready to play on the road. So just like we thought when the Tennessee Titans came to Indianapolis, we were a bad home team and they were a bad road team, and something had to give. So
speaking of road and home versus away, the Colts' next 3 games, or 3 out of 4 games, are on the road. They have Tennessee this week, Cincinnati next week. They have that Saturday game versus Pittsburgh at home, and then Week 16 versus Atlanta in Atlanta. And then they close the season out on the road. I do believe in Houston. No, Houston comes to home?
Houston's going to come to home.
I mean, Houston's getting to home. But either way, like, I think that this schedule favors Indianapolis just because all year Indianapolis has been a better road game. I really think that, like, why Shane talks about, protecting home field is one thing. I think that in my opinion, going into another team's home field and winning is more of a culture setter and builds more culture than just winning at home. And I feel like the Colts have done an incredible job of handling business trips, and I think that will continue throughout the season.
I personally look at it like this. I don't care if it's home or away. I think 99% of these fields are the same. The only difference is the crowd. And most of the teams you're going to go play, like Tennessee, they're not known for that. They're not known for having a crowd that's going to ruin your game. And really, the crowd, the only thing they do is make it harder for you to communicate. And with the way technology is these days, it barely even that anymore. Now it's just getting, if you're a hurry-up offense, you're trying to get your routes out to your wide receivers as a quarterback. That's the most you're going to struggle with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Shane has the team prepared and ready to go there. So I don't really take too much into account on either side of it. But good to know that they haven't really beaten anybody good at home. Joshua Merchant is coming here saying, love your show. best show. I'm so glad I could listen and discuss all things Colts with you guys, especially since I'm the only Colts fan in my house. Appreciate you, Josh. Wish you didn't have to go through that. I'm usually the only Colts fan in my house as well, just because I'm from the Bay Area, so everybody loves the freaking Raiders.
Hell, I'm the only football fan in my house.
Yeah,
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I'm
Me
lucky.
too.
I'm lucky. I got boys, so I got them screaming "Go Colts." So we
They
build some more Colts
the
fans.
girls scream it. The girls scream it, but they don't care. They come out and be like,
Yeah.
"Go Colts!"
That's how my wife and daughter are.
Run away.
They don't care for football.
No, and they just run off and go play with their dolls.
Yeah, Ash is saying, why don't we use Mallory more? And that's because we got 6 other tight ends, and we never know.
And we
who's
don't
playing.
use enough.
We got 6 other tight ends.
Okay.
We never know who's gonna play. We never
Hey.
You missed that earlier, Ashley. We kind of talked about
Zach-
that a little bit.
Zach Ertz got released. I fully expect Indianapolis to go sign him. You know, why not? Add one more. Just add one more.
He's gonna retire. He's gonna end up being over there at CBS with Greg Olson, and they're gonna have a tight.
He's going to coach the Panthers, dog. He's going to do what Saturday wants to do.
No. What are you guys talking about? He's gonna go right back to Philly. He's gonna jump on a bandwagon and try to go win a ring. That's what he's gonna do.
He's already got one.
He's gonna go try and win another one.
Nah,
Go right
I
back
don't
over
think
there
they-
to Philly.
They don't even need him, to be honest. I really think
They got Dallas Goddard.
He's on IR
Yeah.
with a broken arm.
I don't know who's a tight end in Philly. I don't even know they use tight ends in Philly.
they don't. They don't.
It's
use
just like
anyone.
Jalen Hurts does everything. He can run the ball
They use Dallas Goddard.
when he's healthy.
AJ Brown.
Yeah.
They use.
Hey, they trying to get Shaq. I'm pretty sure they'll take Zach.
I will say
Fact.
Devontae Smith the last few weeks have been lighting it up.
He has been lighting it up. He's been getting
That's
utilized a lot.
That's because they've
I
been.
mean, he'd be
triple
nice
teaming
in a Colts uniform.
Huh?
Who?
Devontae Smith would look nice in a Colts uniform.
Oh yeah, I wanted him out the draft.
He's the one dude that I'm like on the Philly offense. He's realistic. I'm like, man, he dicing guys up with his route running.
I will say this: Philly looks a little underwhelming lately, but yeah, that's just me.
They have underwhelming.
Do we-
You're not wrong.
we talk about Grover?
He's still suspended.
Well,
Not really. I
no,
mean, I
not necessarily Grover, but the impact of Grover not being there tomorrow. Have we talked about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I talked about him.
I know I shouldn't. I don't know why I came on. You guys already touched base probably on everything I want to say, so I'm going back to fucking bed.
No,
Yeah,
we
you
weren't.
could- you could-
I was watching it on YouTube in bed, and my wife was like, "Why don't you just go on?" I was like, "Nah."
Well, we were going to talk about this college football for a second about how like
Ooh,
people are talking
ooh,
about how Texas needs to be in the college football playoffs,
Hey,
and
Zach,
and I don't necessarily agree because I don't think Texas defense could stop an SEC offense
can't.
or a Big
Well,
Ten
you-
offense.
I mean, we already beat
Hey,
Texas.
Matt.
Already beat Bama, so
hey Matt, you know how me and you always go at it. These two, get your popcorn ready.
Like
Matt,
I
Matt,
just
Matt, get your popcorn ready. They was throwing haymakers at
there's
each
just
other.
no way. There's just no way. Like offensively, yeah, Texas score on anybody, but defense, they ain't seen speed like that, man. SEC stuff is big.
Yep, they just played Milrow, made him look like Denard Robinson.
Monster's gonna make
Yep.
Indy add a couple more weeks to JT recovery time when he breaks off. That'd be dope, man. I think Monster's gonna get a huge contract, not from Indy, if that happens.
The better he plays, the less likelihood he is to come back here, man.
Right.
Since we're going to talk about college football real quick, I don't think Texas is going to get into the college football playoffs.
Well, they're saying
I
they
think
are, man.
I think with Bama winning, I think Bama's going to hop up in there.
They're saying that since Bama won, you absolutely have to bring Texas with Bama or not bring Alabama, Texas at all.
Well, they're going to bring Bama because Bama just beat up on the number one.
They're gonna put Georgia in that bad boy because Georgia's Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's going to be in there, sure.
UT
but
deserves
I
to
think
be
Bama,
in.
I
UT.
agree. I think UT should be in there, and I want them in there. I was
I
wearing,
just-
I was
It's UT
wearing
or Florida State.
I was wearing the Longhorn hoodie today, and I
Sark
was
is going to
walking
bully
around
Kirby
this-
Smart like he did at Bama every
I
year.
was walking around this vendor thing.
Damon, bro, you need to put the crack pipe down, dog.
Sark's going to call that offense. Do y'all see how creative Sark got with that offense in that first half?
Like I said, the offense is wild. It's that defense that's going to hurt Texas,
Their
in my
defense is
opinion.
not that bad. That's what you fail to understand.
No,
Their defense isn't bad for the teams they play, but they ain't played SEC teams consistently, dog. They ain't played Big Ten teams consistently. The Big 12 is not what it used to be. Bro, playing strength of schedule matters.
They literally lost to Kansas State without their starting quarterback, and they lost by like 3 points. I don't know what we're talking about here. They played everyone consistently. I've watched Texas all year. They played everyone.
Homie, the Big 12 is not is no.
They beat everyone they faced. They just played
right.
Them. They beat Bama.
Good for
they
Texas.
They beat your SEC Golden Boys. They beat them.
I'm not a Bama fan, but
I don't care if you're a fan. It's a fact.
There's no arguing with Zach at this point, bro. We've been arguing for 3 hours, dog.
SEC is way better than anything Texas has seen all year.
Dude,
I'm just spitting facts.
We're not disagreeing with you that SEC is the best conference. What I'm saying is UT absolutely deserves to be in. They absolutely do. You have to treat Bama.
They'll be the 4 seed.
Bama and UT in.
I hate the word deserve, bro.
They'll be the 4 seed, but I don't think.
This is why
if it's between Texas and Florida State, 100% Texas deserves to get in because what we're watching with Florida State now is trash.
You're seeing 30 yards of total offense at halftime.
Yeah.
This has always been my issue with college football to begin with, is the fact that it's got to go by a committee picking who they think deserves to be in or not. Like DeMarco just said, he hates that word, but literally that's what college football is. It's a committee that is saying, does this team deserve to be in or does this team deserve to be in? It's the whole reason why I haven't been big on college football for damn near my whole life, because I don't like that. I know when they do this expansion, I'm going to be more involved in it.
More receptive to it, because just like I told Trev, I said I hate that you got some idiots making people argue because they
some guys who haven't played football
in that goddamn chair. Yeah, most of you guys in that goddamn chair has never even played college football. And you're sitting here picking who deserves it, who deserves it more. No, give me the best teams.
Or when they did play, they were wearing rubber helmets. You know,
what's wrong with rubber helmets?
It would have
they all got concussions. They all got concussions, so they don't understand.
Disrespect rubber helmets like that.
But no, man. But yeah, Matt, to your point, yeah, I chimed in on Grover not being around a little bit because one of our guys in here, I think it was Tristan, was saying that we need to stop D-Hop from going off or whatever. And I was telling these guys, I don't care what D-Hop does. He went off last time and they still lost. I want to stop the run. I want to stop Tajay Spears and I want to stop Derrick Henry. It's about that run stopping, and we don't have Grover this time.
Tajay Spears ain't shit, so we don't even need to bring him into the conversation. He had one good game all year.
Well, he's the highest graded rookie running back.
Doing what? Is he the only rookie running back? Because there ain't no way. That man has done nothing.
Bro, how about Gibson from Detroit? How is he not the highest rated running back?
You mean Gibbs? Yeah. You mean Gibbs? Yeah. Jair Gibbs? That man is a boss. There's no way. No way.
I don't know. I don't know, but that's what.
Is he only being rated for like the 7 snaps that he took like 6 weeks ago?
I have no idea.
So for any Colts fans, all right, because I fell for the trap. So I'm gonna be honest. Like 6-7 weeks ago, Spears had a good game, and I said, you know what? I picked him up on fantasy. I started him 3 weeks after that, and he's got me 1 point each week. So we ain't got to worry about Tajay Spears. He's not the best rookie running back. It's Gibbs up in Detroit by far. It's the best rookie running back. All we got to do is stop DH, contain the edge.
Yeah, that's what I was at with. I said I want to stop Derrick Henry. I told them, I said, as long as Derrick Henry goes for 25 yards and DeAndre Hopkins can have 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, whatever, as long as the Colts get Derrick Henry down to 25 yards and the Colts win. Outside of that, I'm like I'm not worried about what any receivers do in Tennessee.
I said it all year. I don't care if one wide receiver goes off for over 100 yards receiving. I don't care, because guess what? That just means they moved up and down the field. What matters is how they end that drive. I don't care.
Exactly.
He can have He can have a 65-yard reception on every single drive. As long as we get the stop on the goal line, I don't care.
Well said.
Damon and Zach, what not just telling you guys that the most overrated, unrealistic stat in football is yards. I
It's
do
yards.
not give a damn
I don't
about
care.
your yards. I do
I don't
not
care.
I do not
I don't-
care.
I don't care. All that matters for is putting you on the all-purpose yards for all time. That's all that matters. It's going to get you in the Hall of Fame, but I really don't care. I don't think it makes you a great offense or whatever. That's fine. What makes you a great offense is how you finish in the red zone, how you finish on the goal line.
Can you
You
score?
You can deke and dime your way all the way down the field if you want to. If you can't score, you can't score. And guess what? If it's gonna come down to our kickers, my money's on Matt Gay every time.
Mine too.
My money would also be on what's his name?
The Minshew the Minshimmy, is that what they call it? I got my money on him in the red zone.
The punter for the Titans.
Don't know.
My money's on him to have more punts than DeAndre Hopkins has catches. Oh, that's where my money would be. So I don't know.
I'm saying we said it what 5-6 weeks ago here on the show. I said it before. I don't care what the wide receivers get. I don't. I think it was before we played Tennessee the first time. I was like, he can go ahead and go off for 150 yards. I don't care. As long as we end up with the final score being higher than theirs. I don't care what he has. I didn't care what Mike Evans was going to have when everybody was like, oh, Mike Evans is going to torch us. Who I want to remind y'all, I don't think he really did torch us. I think he had a couple big plays, but outside of that, it wasn't really like a torching right that everyone.
Hey, y'all. I got to get out of here. I got things I need to get done. Peace, love, go
And
Colts.
happiness.
Appreciate you, Zach. Have a good night.
Thank you,
brother.
guys. Have a good night,
Yep.
guys.
But yeah, I've been big on that since I want to say since the early weeks. And I remember Baltimore, Matt, you were saying that Zay Flowers were going to kill us, and I was telling you guys, like, I don't care what these receivers go for, just because of the fact that
As long as the running backs don't do it.
Yeah, as long as teams can't run the ball on you, you really just don't get worn down. Obviously, you don't want the third down conversions, but it's like, if I can stop you from running the ball, you're forced to pass, and eventually, when you got to put up 30,
and then on the
40,
goal line,
50 passes,
if you can't run the ball, you can't do anything on the goal line.
you will have turnovers.
Yep, and that's it. I don't care what a receiver does, as long as the running back ain't doing it. Because the most annoying thing to me is when a running back is gaining 4 to 5 yards a carry. That irritates the crap out of me.
Absolutely. Terry is saying here, as close as Indy and Tennessee games always are, I got a feeling we're going to embarrass them. We're bringing the sweepstakes back. 3-score win.
He said he's got a bone to pick with me. What up? What's the bone?
No, I think he's talking about me. Oh,
I'm in the top left.
What happened? So
Not again.
yeah, you love to hear you love to hear a 3-score win. So I hope you right, Terry. I wouldn't necessarily predict it as a 3-score win. I think it's going to be a tight game, probably like a 10-point game or something like that.
I don't even think it's going to be 10. I think it's going to be under 10. It might be like an 8, somewhere between that 6 to 8 point range, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to go 10, though.
What's up? I'm still trying to figure out. Give me a bone.
He's going to talk about the New Orleans Saints.
No, that's not him.
That's not him. No. Remember me? You had an argument about Derek Carr. I told you he ain't about nothing. It wasn't just the Raiders. Oh, that's you. That is you. That ain't me.
Oh yeah, so it was me. I mean,
that's definitely you. I
so
remember that show.
Okay. So
heated.
I mean, if we're bringing back up this argument, who won between the Saints and the Colts?
What the Saints?
Who won between the Saints and the Colts? Okay, so I mean, we can, if you want to revisit it, the Colts lost to the Saints with Derek Carr. I mean, we lost. So what did you tell me? I mean, if he suck and he beat us, I mean, I don't see too many people wanting Gardner Minshew over Derek Carr. So
All right. So my prediction for tomorrow is a 23-17 final score.
23-17. I can see that. Was that the score the first time?
Was it? Because if so, yeah, I could just call repeat.
I think it was.
I'm gonna go 30-14 Colts.
30-14.
I feel it coming. I feel it.
You gonna run them boys in the Nissan Stadium?
I want Vrabel to shake his head leaving that stadium.
Vrabel starting to look like Frank Reich this year.
Poor guy. That poor guy, man.
He looked depressed as hell, boy.
That guy is the glue that holds that team together. If that team was coached by anybody else, they would be the Carolina Panthers.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah. And it's crazy because people are ready to get rid of him. My prediction will be 24-13 Colts. That's what I got, man. I got us obviously over 20. Don't think they're going to be big time scoring. I think our defense can hold it down. 24-13. Oh, it was 23-16. Matt was the last game. So you got Tennessee getting one more point, squeezing out one more. They just make a field goal this time instead of missing one.
All right, but I'm going to head out too because I'm actually kind of tired.
It's all good. It's all good. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Check us out every Saturday, 8:15 Eastern Time. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. We're on all platforms.
ZTV.
Eventually, all of us will be on, and we'll be on time. Eventually, bear with us. It's the holidays. Everything's wacky right now, so.
Absolutely. Appreciate everybody coming through. And shout out to ZTV. And as always, go Colts.
Go Colts.
Second down, he fakes the Taylor, fires over the middle, completes. Pittman